Is that recording?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Oh, it's recording.
That's the club.
That way.
That's a good start. Oh, sorry for the cut.
Welcome back to episode 9.
The sick edition.
The sick edition.
This is
Sit a bit further away. This cunt's a bit crook.
edition,
He's
that's
a little bit
it.
crook.
Yeah,
I'm
we're a
healthy.
little bit
Fucking
sick.
get that tissue the
All right,
fuck away
listen,
from me.
it's too aggressive to start, all right?
We're doing the travel episode today.
yes,
Travel. This is an episode we've been looking forward to for a little while. I love this one. There's always some funny stories when you're talking about trotting around the globe. JP, have you done a lot of traveling? Obviously, you know.
I have. Just
Egypt,
a reminder,
Syria.
this is the Dropouts podcast. This is
Yeah.
the
FYI, if you click the
What
wrong
episode are we at?
link,
What
it's
episode?
episode number 9.
9.
Or close to the double digits.
Sorry, I'm a bit sick.
Pull it away.
But listen, rain, hail, or sick, this happens.
This happens.
Yeah.
We're absolutely dedicated to getting this shit out, whether these guys have got COVID, whether they've got the flu,
Whether Matt is
HIV,
putting his
herpes.
life on the line.
Literally, we're here. I don't know why.
Actually,
but
there's a
I'm here.
lot of Matty found himself bleeding on the way in
Yeah.
on my kitchen floor. Shawnee and I sick. So
Yeah.
Talk that way. Are we good enough to do this?
yes,
we're fine, we're
As
fine.
soon as that button goes red, it says on air.
We're on
We're
air.
on.
We
And,
are
then-
on.
and JP, he's sick now, but he's going away in
Yeah.
2 days. Oh,
I'm going to Bali on
he's
Wednesday.
going to Bali on Wednesday.
Actually, yeah, we had my
Jeez.
my cousin. We did his church ceremony for his wedding. Shout out Daniel Nusser, Rockabye Your Bear Bear's now asleep.
I think Marcus put a photo up of that.
Yeah. So
Oh,
Daniel, my cousin, got married on Saturday at St Mark's Church in Arncliffe, and we're doing like the actual party reception shenanigans in Bali, in Uluwatu, this
I
week.
love
So
Uluwatu.
we fly on Wednesday, 5:45. There's about 50 of us in the same flight. Actually, it's gonna be good fun.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
you're definitely gonna get stopped at customs. They're gonna be like, 50
All these
hours.
Arabs going to Bali. Check the bags. So yeah, that'd be good fun. So we're going to Uluwatu for until so Wednesday till Sunday or Monday, and then we go to Canggu, where a bunch of us are staying for the after party.
Awesome.
The who's who in Canggu. I love the Canggu. Have you been to Canggu?
No, I've never been to Bali before.
Never been to
Oh,
Bali.
nice.
Are you
No,
even
never.
Australian? No, you're not.
No.
You're Kiwi.
Yeah, literally not Australian.
Australia is our Bali.
Literally, it's like the equivalent
Okay,
of
legit, yeah,
Mexico for Americans is like our equivalent for Bali. You know how they all go flock to Mexico.
Yeah, what about, how many times have you been there? Plenty of times.
The first time I ever went to Bali, excuse us, this guy's just literally fucking blowing his ass out. On his nose. I was live on air.
Go on. Sorry. How do you turn off the mic again? Like, because I've never actually had to do it.
So you
That one?
You're number 2, I think.
No.
Episode 9 sponsored by Strepsils and Robitussin.
Yeah.
Hook it up. Oh no, we'll put you on mute. There you go.
There you go.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's off.
Yep. So there you go.
Beautiful.
Right.
So yeah, Bali's an amazing place. I got a special place in my heart for Bali. This guy's proper sick. Yeah, I love Bali, man. The first time I went was in 2018. First time I went overseas with some mates. We had booked a trip to Bali in like July. Went over there, had the best time ever.
How old were you then?
18.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
Straight out of school.
Straight out of school, 6 months of working, and I was like, I want to go on holidays. So I went on holidays with the boys. And I think that was, again, ding, 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 catalyst. It was a catalyst for future love of travel in the future. And then I remember getting back from Bali after like the 10-day trip with the boys, and I was like, I don't want to go home and, go back to normal life. This is so much fun. So I ended up doing like trips to the Philippines and Thailand, Vietnam, the rest of Indonesia, Japan,
Nice.
Cambodia. It was awesome, man.
Yeah,
So-
you did long-term trips, eh? Like,
yeah,
what was the longest you went away?
2 months.
Okay.
You were
2
solo
months.
for a lot of that, right?
Yeah, solo for most of it. The first trip
that's cool.
was with mates, but the rest was solo. I think I don't know. I just was like didn't want to stay in Sydney, and I think I was like so keen. I was like, when am I going to get the opportunity to like be able to like go and save up as much as I can and go quickly and then come back? I didn't have any responsibility. Not that I have like a whole lot of responsibility now. I don't.
You had the travel bug.
I had the
After
travel
that
bug.
But it is
first one,
different
I
because
guess.
you gotta like now, like even though it's just like Kristen and I, we still got to plan for shit, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just different. Like she's got and the other thing is we know double the amount of people now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like you got all of the people she knows, all the people I know. So I've got weddings, events.
Yeah,
She's
true.
got the flower business and shit work. So it's just solo is just fucking.
Destination
up
stuff
and
is
go.
pretty mad though. Like actually we went to Canada. I think maybe 3 years ago, and that was supposed to be for a wedding.
Oh wow.
But 2 weeks before the wedding, the fiance called it off.
Oh,
So,
damn.
yeah. So
did they ever get married?
no,
I
they
want to know.
separated.
Forget your travel. Tell me about this
separated.
story.
Yeah, this is more
Yeah,
important.
it's not really my story to tell, but
Yeah, no,
They
maybe
don't listen to it, bro.
I
Trust
know,
me.
but
They'll never listen to it.
okay, I'll give you the quick little breakdown.
Tell the story.
So anyway, it was what do you call it when they do the bridesmaid thing? No, not the bridesmaid.
The
thing.
Bridal
hens.
shower.
Hens?
The hens. Sorry, the hens. No, the
Yeah.
hens
Oh,
day.
no.
So it was on
The
the
hen
on
story.
the hens. On the day of the hens, he broke it off. It was 2 weeks before. Everybody had obviously paid for all their stuff. We had paid for it, and anyway, so we ended up going. She just ended up having all her family there, and just had a bit of a dinner and and they'd hired out this beautiful place out in Canada. I can't remember what the place was called, but it was on a lake. Like the lake had frozen over.
Lake Louise.
Yes,
Motherfucker, what a gorgeous place. I've been there.
Lake Louise, yeah.
So you went there just for the wedding, but there was no wedding, but both parties were still there?
No, just her family.
Just
went.
her family went.
So I think some of his went, but obviously they didn't. Because they paid for it. Like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you know them?
It was my ex's friend.
Okay,
Good
yeah.
friend, yeah. So but like I said, like going to different things. Like that was a bit of a different one, but in terms of what happened, but like Canada was unreal. Have you been to Canada?
Yeah.
No, I really want to go to Canada.
Brother,
amazing.
it's so good.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah, so we went to Whistler.
Whistler, yeah, nice.
And we got a helicopter ride. My ex organised a helicopter ride up into the mountains, and fuck, it was so nice. But I'll definitely want to go back to Canada.
And Canadians are such nice people.
Are they?
Yeah, just chill. Yeah.
Canadians,
Canada.
Kiwis. Actually, yeah, they're probably the top two.
Canadians
My
are
opinion.
really nice.
You're not
Cheers,
really
brother.
Kiwi, but whatever. Are
Cousin-
you?
cousin.
Kind of? Not really.
Yeah. I was
yeah.
born and raised.
I
there.
consider
Heaps
you
of Aussies
Kiwi.
in Canada though, true?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, a lot of them go over there for the ski season. Yeah,
That was
yeah.
like in Japan. We went into Hakuba, which is like Whistler of Japan.
Hakuba.
And it was literally all Aussies on the mountain. Like I stayed at this hostel and it was like all Australians. Like you could go get pub feed at the mountain. Like you get
No way.
Yeah, there was like palmies on the menu, Aussie beer, like burgers.
Oh,
like,
that's good. They're catering to
Bro,
like.
it was so good.
You know.
Because after all, like I love the Japanese food. Don't get me wrong. Like, and that was the best part of the experience. Japan was like the coolest country I've ever been to. That was the only place that I wish I went to with someone. Like I was by myself the whole time, and it was different than like the Southeast Asian countries because you're staying in hostels and like it's a bit more like backpacker.
A lot of people
Yeah.
are going solo in Southeast Asia.
Whereas
Yeah.
Japan, you kind of it's a big city. You want it like there's so much cool stuff that you don't see here.
Yeah.
So you like want to turn to someone and be like, oh, like look at this. But like I was like,
Yeah, but also there's just
Look in
less.
the mirror.
I think it's probably because it's also a little bit a more expensive destination.
Yeah.
Whereas Southeast
Japan,
Asian,
yeah.
destinations are cheaper,
Yeah.
so it draws a lot of the like. I'm just gonna go solo travel, do my own thing, and just survive off the $10 that I have.
That's
week
right.
to
Yeah.
week or whatever.
Can you
the
do
fuck.
that though as a solo traveler? Can it be cheap?
it can be
Oh,
cheap.
yeah.
hostels
Southeast Asia,
and-
man, it can be.
Or
No,
cheap.
I'm in
Japan.
Japan.
Japan, yeah, it could. Look, I spent probably the same
I haven't even been.
in
Yeah,
Japan.
never been Japan.
I haven't, but I've heard it's expensive though.
It is expensive. I did the same in Japan in like 3 and a bit weeks than I did in close to 2 months in Asia.
Right.
So like, take what you will. They're different style of traveling. So I really enjoyed Japan, bro. It was super cool. Like we
Yeah.
did the Mario Kart thing where you're like driving through Shibuya, like went to like the sumo wrestling, went to like all the like Japanese onsens where you're like
that's
having like the
hectic.
hot bath in like the mountaintop.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, man. Osaka, Tokyo, Kyoto was so cool, bro.
So
cool.
yeah, you immerse yourself in like what was that Mario Kart thing? Like I've seen
Oh,
that.
that was so
Did
much
you
fun.
get dressed? What did you get dressed up in?
So I think like the rules changed because like Mario like maybe launched a lawsuit against them. So you weren't dressed up specifically as a Mario character.
Pikachu or whatever.
Yeah, it was like
it was more
colorful
to do.
suits. But you're a Mario
Nintendo
character.
took him to fucking town or something.
Bro,
for sure.
Really?
Must have been because Nintendo owns.
I
all
felt
those
like I
rights.
was in Tokyo Drift, but in like in Fast and the Furious.
Bro,
Because
it
you do
looks
it in
like
the-
that.
you're
I've seen
literally
it.
going right through Shibuya crossing, bro, and like. So
So you do it in the city.
Some,
Like, you
yeah.
actually
Hold on,
do
you're
it in the city.
literally driving behind normal cars.
You're driving on the main road.
So like, but do you G out?
next to trucks and
Gee,
everything,
yeah, and
bro.
shit?
Also, yeah, but like I had done this sort of thing, like
They're probably used to it, but
yeah, in Bali and Vietnam and Thailand, you're on a fucking motorbike and you don't have a helmet, and you.
But,
Yeah.
but I feel like in those countries, it's like everyone accepts that it's just like this chaos is the default.
It's organized chaos.
Yeah.
In Vietnam or in Hoi An, it was even scarier. Like literally, we're on the bike and peak hour traffic. Like I kid you not, there's no lanes. It's just a fucking free
And
for all,
500
bro.
fucking
Literally, it's
scooters.
intersection,
Yeah.
intersection, and everyone's
That's
just
mad,
like,
bro.
okay, wait.
Like, bro, you have to just literally beep your horn, pick a line, and hit it.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
gotta drive with confidence. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I don't care what anyone is
No
doing around
hesitation.
If you
me.
hesitate, they'll fuck you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally big time, 100%. What about
Yeah.
you, Shawnee? Where was your favorite place that you've been? And do you want to get some more traveling done? Is there a bit more on the
bro.
bucket list?
100%. But I guess my top 3 went to Europe. I think it was maybe 6-7 years ago now. And that was during winter, which was actually I thought it was going to be pretty shit because I don't like the winter, but it was actually pretty nice. And probably my top 3 from that trip, which was a bit of a surprise. Germany was one of my top.
Germany.
Like Germany
Das ist
was
mein Hamburger.
yeah, Germany was hectic. But when we were organising the trip itself, because you get to choose, right? Because we went on a Kontiki tour, and this is the thing. Like we had a 50 person bus, and majority were Aussies. Like which is good
Aussies
because
love
you
Kontiki.
get a good group, you're sweet.
Yeah.
But we ended up going from started in France. We had New Year's in France at the Moulin Rouge, and then we ended up going down to Italy, down to Spain, and doing a bit of a horseshoe up towards Amsterdam, and finished up there. And when we were booking it, we looked at the lady said, "Oh, then this one could have Germany," and we didn't really think too much about it. Like, nah, not really keen. But then getting to Germany was unreal. Like going to Munich, going to the beer houses, and seeing all that. Like in Berlin, there was like this old Berlin and new Berlin. And I was just looking at the history of obviously what happened in, back in the war, etc. But then seeing how they created this new sort of Berlin experience. So yeah, that was awesome. I think Germany, Scotland was mad as well. You're right, JP. Only went there for like one day, but I would have loved to have been there for a little bit longer. And then maybe that's because I'm Scottish. Maybe a bit of a connection there.
Yeah, a bit of a heritage there.
Bit of heritage there. But otherwise, yeah, I think Canada was the other one as well. That was unreal. That I loved.
See, I think with traveling Europe, like I haven't been there personally, but I feel like I don't want to travel so quickly to different.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
I would rather just take it slow. I feel like I could spend like a month in Italy, no problem, and just chill.
Bro, it's
you know
so
what I mean?
like the culture and the history. Like obviously, it's so far from New Zealand,
Right.
Australia. Like what do we talk about? Like back in 1800s, but
Yeah.
back over there, they're talking about BC.
Yeah.
And, man, it's
100%.
crazy how much history that you can go through and learn. But yeah, and then. So those were probably the top 3 that I've been to, but definitely would love to go to Africa.
Africa's a big one,
That
bro.
would, yeah.
They're
to go
planning a mission trip with
safaris.
my church next year to Africa.
Are you?
That's a
Really?
big one, bro. I would
Bro,
love-
that would be
What was
hectic.
That's the Russell Peters skit.
Oh, okay. Like
Bile. Do you remember that? You remember it now? I can full tell.
I do. Hey, bro, like we don't put up with racist shit on this. We do.
Oh, get a load of this guy.
Hey, I'm bring up the
accent
Apu accent.
Indian, hello.
So what's happening
Actually,
then?
I've been to Africa.
Oh, have you?
Have you?
South Africa.
Oh, right.
Oh, mate. So I went to do a safari with the family. Honestly, I had just come from Europe and I met my parents, my sisters, my grandparents in South Africa. Bro, stop dodging me. Maddie's dodging me because I keep coughing in his direction. Not on purpose, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, South Africa, we did a safari. Man, it was fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, my phone's recording. Fuck me, bro. The photos I took, like,
What did you
it's
see? What
actually
did you get to
surreal,
see?
man. Like everything. Like,
All the animals? Fuck, that's mad.
I took this one shot and I'll show it to you after we're done. And we've been basically like searching for this leopard for so long, and we saw it between these trees. It was looking directly between us. There was all these branches around its face. I was looking directly at it, man. I had a proper
That's
camera.
scary.
Bro,
Oh,
it
that's
was
hectic.
crazy. Actually, I've got a fucking story about this. So we are on basically, we're in a Land Cruiser like the whole time. Like the
roofless ones.
Yeah, roofless Land Cruiser, exactly right. And we have obviously a guide. Anyway, at one point, this guy was like, what's his name? Ernie M. Maetla. Still got him on Facebook, actually. It's actually funny shit seeing his posts. He posts some crazy shit, something like lion fights and shit like that.
Fuck.
The game park we're at was called Madikwe. Anyway, we got off on, we got out of the truck, believe it or not. Pardon me. Break for me.
But yeah, like so JP just having a bit of a breather.
Yeah,
there.
JP needs to take a quick breather. Take 5 minutes, just recompose yourself.
Yeah. But what? Tell us. Oh, you back? Tell us about this mission.
Yeah. So the plan is to go to Africa next year on a mission trip.
Yeah.
Definitely keen to do that. We don't have the exact details. We're praying on it so that we know the right dates, where exactly we're headed, and what the mission is going to be. But definitely to help spread the gospel and probably help the disadvantaged and people who obviously lack the bare necessities that we do here: food, shelter, basic clothing, etc. Like that. I've never been on a mission trip personally, but I know that there's definitely something that's been on my heart for a long time. So praying that comes to fruition with the church. They're aiming for mid next year, so that'll be the big plan.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah, it'll be good, man. Like, cause sometimes, I've done a lot of. Travel is selfish. At the end of the day, you want to go do things for yourself. But I think if you can have a bit of a balance between, partying and and seeing
back.
the sights, I probably wouldn't come back.
He might find you.
I feel like you get there. You
Find an
black belt.
African
This is
wife.
my
African
it's my
queen.
calling.
Hey, I love my African queens. Shout out my dark chap.
He's thinking about the.
This one's carry on with your
Playing
story.
the bongos, eh?
The bongos.
Go back with your story, JP.
Oh, sorry.
So
In case
Ernie,
you
was
wanted
it?
to know what happened just then, I just had a phlegm fit. I know you all wanted to know that. No, so where I was going with this was, so we were doing a safari.
And the leopard was looking at you.
No, this is a different story. If you're paying attention instead of just looking at which direction my mouth is breathing in. Anyway, so we get out. The guy's like, all right, we're getting out of the truck. I'm like, what the fuck? We're in the middle of a game reserve. I'm like, what do you mean we're getting out of the truck? He goes, yeah, we're going to get out on foot. We're going to try and track this lioness and her cubs.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to ask you to recite this story back to me after I'm done.
Yeah.
All right? Just in case you're wondering. And so we're like, all right, we get out. My two sisters, Marine and Grace, and my little cousin Joyce. We get out of the truck. This guy's got his rifle. I'm like, fuck me, what's about to happen right now? I'm like, all right, whatever. He does this all the time. Bloke's done 1,000 tours. So we get out on foot, and he's tracking the droppings of the lioness. And we're walking through the game reserve. Like, you can see, but the grass is pretty high as well. He's got the really tall, South African grass, TIA. This is Africa.
Africa.
Blood diamond. So we're walking through, we're tracking. What he's saying is tracking. He's at the front. We're all just in a single file line. And he's pretty strict on that, like everyone in a single file line. Anyway, we're walking for about maybe 10 minutes away from the truck. So anyway, all of a sudden,
That's scary.
out of nowhere, bro, I hear this growl. I'm like, what the fuck? So it looks straight ahead. Bro, this lioness has come up from the grass. She's got blood on her, on her mouth. On
And
her
you're
jaw.
by yourself in the middle of the
Bro,
bush.
we're lined up one by one. Ernie, me, my two sisters, and Joyce behind me. All fucking whatever.
That's not
quick maths.
normal.
Bro. And I'm like, oh my God, this is where I die. That's literally the first
Oh
thing I
my
remember
God.
thinking to myself, bro, this is where I die. And he goes, and he grabs me like that. Like I was right behind him. So he grabbed me and he goes, grab your sister behind you. And he said, just keep doing that. And he said, look straight ahead and everyone walk backwards very slowly, step by step.
So it was just looking at you.
wow.
It was
perched
like
up.
it was maybe 20, 25 meters away.
Still.
Wow.
Blood on like red. Sorry, not like literally blood dripping, but red all over the
no.
jaw.
It had just
So
eaten.
just eaten or something.
Yeah.
And obviously she had spotted us before we spotted her.
Oh my God.
Bro. Anyway, so we're stepping back slowly. And then she starts growling a little bit more and kind of hunching over, leaning forward. And bro, we're still moving back, bro. I'm literally shaking, stepping backwards.
Fuck.
Bro.
Like, are you laughing at the time? or you
No, bro. At this point, I was like, my life
I'm
is
scared.
in danger.
How old were you at this stage when you went to this?
It's like
trip?
maybe 5 years ago.
Oh, right. Fuck.
Yeah. Anyway, so what happens is she then lifts up. She fucking takes two huge leaps forward.
Oh my God.
Like pounces forward twice. He lets go of me.
And did he say run?
Jumps forward with his gun and starts yelling, hey. Moving towards her as she's moving towards him.
Oh my God.
Starts yelling with the gun. She hits the brakes. The lioness hits the brakes.
Fuck.
Oh my God.
The lioness
bro.
got
Lioness
scared.
hit the brakes. Just
Yeah,
stopped.
stopped.
And then he came back, keeps moving, gets to move back slowly.
Wow.
We just kept backing off.
Finally got to the truck.
I got some photos of when we were far enough back. I zoomed in while we
Yeah.
were on our way back, and I'm like, oh my God. Bro, we ended up going back. When we got in the truck, we went back around. We saw her cubs. we saw the carcass she was dragging away.
Oh my
I've got
God.
photos of it with my camera.
Wow,
That is so
that's
scary.
Bro,
That's a story.
That is a story.
That's a fucking
bricks,
story.
bro.
So that's
Wow.
the thing on these African, like these. Do you sign a waiver like when you're like you go?
Surely,
Out,
yeah.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
happens?
You get heated. It's not our
I
fault.
don't- I didn't
that
read
to
it.
me is like that. There's nothing more interesting that you could possibly go,
Well, look,
go
here's
see.
the thing,
than
right?
that.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would have been prepared to shoot his gun, but
Oh,
he said
yeah.
to us like,
You don't
like,
wanna shoot.
At
oh
the-
no, no,
at
of
the
course,
last-
but
yeah.
my point is that
Last resort, he would've-
but bro, like to him, he said that's only happened like let's never like the last time that happened to him was like 5 years ago or something. It's
wow.
very rare for that to happen, but also, yeah, he was saying how like you know you have to face off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, with that, like,
You
bro,
can't bitch
think
it.
about the even like seen it before, bro. That's balls.
Oh,
you got the
bro.
lion charging towards you, and this bloke's he's like, oh fuck. The man is going all
This guy-
tribal.
That was like Indian American, like they're like the Redskins, like hey yo yo
Yeah,
yo
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
yo yo.
Bro,
he
it was
knows.
crazy to
Scary,
see because,
bro.
bro, in my head, I'm like, bro, why is this cunt letting go of me? Like, what are you doing? Well, why is he moving?
Why is he leaving us?
Why is he leaving?
Why is he
But the
leaving?
fact that he grabbed you from behind and he was like, "Start walking back."
Yeah.
Did you grab your
Straight
sister?
up.
Did
Yeah,
your
yeah,
sister was
he
like,
said,
"Oh my
do
god"?
the same, and then every single one of us had each other like that, and we were literally just
Backing up.
backing up.
So it was
up.
him, you, your two sisters, and your cousin.
Yeah,
Oh,
my
right.
little cousin, she would have been like 10 at the
Oh
time.
my
Wow.
god,
What an
Yeah, bro.
experience.
that
Crazy,
is
man.
damn scary.
And
I
he-
don't know a
how I
story
knew,
like that.
You know how I knew it was a big deal too? When he went back, he was telling all his colleagues, like,
Oh,
you won't
like-
believe what just happened. Like,
Fuck.
so you know it's a big deal when the guide,
The guide is like,
is telling all
balls
his
deep in the
mates.
story.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, we had a big lion on the
Pretty much how he speaks, legit.
literally.
yeah.
You should have seen these Australian. Very scary.
Lucky you had him there, right? Fuck. But like, you look at like when you go there, or some people go, they don't see anything.
Bro, we
But
saw
they might miss something, but then you have
everything.
this. Bro, you
Like,
almost got eaten.
it was like, actually, you know what? It was one of those experiences where I go, I've always said to myself, like, I know at a very basic level, when when a lot of people, and obviously this is really elementary when people talk about like God and stuff, bro, when you see beauty like that in nature,
yeah,
and when
yeah,
you
true.
see like the circle, like whatever you want to call
Intricacy
it,
of
when
nature.
you see nature and you see stuff like that, you
Yeah.
actually go, bro, the way that works, you cannot
Yeah.
tell me that is by accident.
Yeah, bro,
Yeah.
I
The
get
way
that.
that works,
100%.
the
Yeah.
way that system works, the way this circle of life works, the way that animal looks, like look, just bro, it's just
so
fucking
sick.
mind blowing. When
Bro.
you see that,
I know,
you just
imagine
go,
seeing
wow,
that
look
in
at the
person
beauty,
too.
Yeah,
bro,
100%. Like,
bro,
not on David Attenborough,
beauty
but-
of a leopard. Bro, it's so hard to describe. It's just the
Yeah.
most
Yeah, yeah.
gorgeous, most beautiful.
But was this a leopard
creature.
or a lion?
Sorry, this was a lion, but I'm saying in general. Like,
But you know, you're right. Like I know we're talking about the travel story, but I love David Attenborough. I could watch that shit
yeah.
on Netflix for ages, bro. But the big cats are just so friggin' interesting.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
there's a certain type of leopard. I think it's called a clouded spotted leopard or something.
Yeah, up in the mountains,
Bro,
like Argentina.
it kills
Yeah.
crocodiles and alligators. I promise you. That you look it up on YouTube.
Oh, right.
It is so ferocious. It can jump and swim, and there's videos of it jumping in,
yeah.
dragging crocodiles and alligators out by their thing, and then just like dragging them out.
Yeah,
Bro, the big
crazy.
cats are, and they've all got built in a certain way. The jaguar is just like the most pound for pound, most athletic, big cat
Big
than
cat.
there is. Then there's the
Yeah.
hyenas that are just like very agile and like, I don't know, bro, it's
Bro,
scary.
honestly,
Definitely
the,
South
the
Africa would be a
safari
trip.
is like
The
is one of
safari
the
would
things
be
that everyone
hectic.
like. I just come from Europe, fucking partying with the boys.
Yeah.
and
It's
the
almost
highlight, of
losing
my,
your
the
life.
highlight of my trip was that
100%.
South Africa trip. And
Almost dying.
Because you never
Almost dying, yeah,
Because
straight
you
out.
never experience that like every day. You can go with the boys any time of the day.
I would love to
Yeah.
go to
But-
Cape Town and jump in a fucking shark, great white.
Yeah,
apparently,
that's one of my-
I've never been to Cape Town. But apparently, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's one of my bucket lists. Just
Great
swim with the
white
sharks.
shark? Yeah, bro.
Not like just in the open ocean.
Nah, but in a
obviously,
cage. But bro,
in
those
a
cages
cage.
are dangerous still, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm sure I've seen videos of them
I've
shitting
seen
in.
the
Can't
great.
you- sorry, bro, it's the tissue roll.
I've seen the great white. I've seen the great white sharks jump into those cages, bro, and they don't. They're just like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's scary,
Yeah,
man.
but what happens if you get a shark that's smaller?
Yeah,
It
that's
just goes in. You know what I mean? It's like smaller bars, bro.
Yeah.
Set up smaller.
Well, I think they do it up in Townsville. Or maybe that's crocodiles.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah. I think they do it somewhere in Australia, but that's something. But what about like, have you guys been around Australia much? Like,
No, I really want to do Australia more, bro, than
Yeah.
I have actually. They say to travel your own country more than
A
like
lot
you
of
know.
the foreigners.
yeah,
do,
but
man,
also
like-
what you do is like you go travel far and wide early, and then when later on in life you'll
Correct.
potentially do your.
I'd love to just go to Darwin. I haven't been to Darwin yet. I want to go look at Uluru. I want to go up to is it Murray River or no? That's south.
Yeah.
The where the like the barrows are and all the crocodiles on the
Yeah.
what's the
My
main
cousin
river
did a medical shout out Matt Nusser did a placement up in
Darwin?
for general surgery, which is his specialty.
Yeah.
He had to do like a 6-month stint in Darwin, and actually he's now switched to ENT. But anyway, long story short, he went up there and he did the whole like get in the boat along the rivers and see crocodiles because he lived up
Man,
in
that'd
Darwin
be
for
so
6
good.
months.
Yeah.
Just to see nature.
But man, it always tends to be like, even for me, people I knew that did that stuff were always like the English, the Irish, the Americans. They did a lot of that.
Yeah.
Like a good mate of mine, I mentioned him before on the podcast, J Ray. He actually did 6 months with his missus in like a van.
I think that's the way to do it.
A Land Cruiser, like
Yeah.
had the setup with the tent on top.
Yeah.
They slept on top of the Land
Oh,
Cruiser,
man.
and they did like thousands and thousands of kilometers across Australia.
Yeah.
Bro, that's the way to go, I reckon. Eh?
Yeah, yeah.
I see that
100%.
shit all the time. With some, like, there's so many beautiful parts of Australia. Is so diverse.
Do
You know what I
get
mean?
bashed in a random country town bar?
Nah.
Imagine me and Maddie rocking up in like a town of like 2,000.
I went up to
It's just
Mullumbimby.
Egyptians.
We're gonna take our jobs.
It's not like that, you dick.
Yeah, fuck. The roles are reversed there for
Yeah,
a second.
literally,
Yeah.
man. My mates live up in Byron, up in Mullumbimby, and I love it up in Mullumbimby, bro. Have you ever been up there? Like, up,
Mullumbimby.
like the
Where
Byron
is it? Where
hinter-
is it?
Yeah,
Byron
Byron Bay,
hinterlands. Yeah, just like 20
Byron
minutes
seems
west of Byron, like proper Byron town. So cool up there, bro. It's literally like hasn't changed since like the 70s and 80s. It's like,
In the last 10 years, it's gone up 360%.
Yeah, it's
Property
fucked.
prices,
Bro.
360%. The average growth over 10 years is 100% every 10 years. Like, as in
well,
property
because
prices
what's his name
doubles.
moved into their fucking
Everybody
what's
moved
that
there.
actor?
Hemsworth.
Hemsworth.
Yeah, and all the locals hated him because he just
Yeah.
like made it's
Made
like
that
a Hollywood
huge
town.
mansion.
Bro, honestly, all
Yeah.
it takes is a couple of headlines like that, and
And
then the
then
momentum
track,
just
yeah.
rolls.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah.
I would love to just get out. I could see myself living elsewhere, bro. But to be honest with you,
I could
just like cruising.
100% say
Well,
anything
outside of
else,
Sydney.
man.
Yeah, outside of
Yeah.
Sydney, bro. I mean, if it wasn't for my family, I just don't know what is holding me in Sydney.
What would keep you
Yeah,
necessarily.
but where would you go? What would be the
I
destination?
don't know
within
what
Australia?
I think I would want to go see more of the world rather than just being like, yeah, I'm gonna go and set up here. But if it was to be in Australia, like I said, I haven't been to too many other places, but I just feel like Sydney is just like really expensive. There's nothing much here other than like keeping my job and seeing my family, which is obviously like
Okay,
important.
what would be your next top 3 places that you'd want to go?
Internationally?
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely Europe, but I don't know how you put it down to just like all of Europe, but Italy for sure.
Yeah. Italy's hectic.
Italy would be
Italy's-
just sick,
Italy's
bro,
sick.
to be honest with you. I feel like I'd love to do the Northern European countries. Like, you know, you got like Switzerland and
Switzerland.
like the
I reckon
Alps.
you'd love that.
Bro, I would love that
You'd
too.
love that.
Netherlands.
But there's just so much to see. It's hard to just put it down to
That's
three.
the thing. It's like Europe, like it's literally
How many
a
days do you
continent.
spend in each place?
That's what I'm
You know I mean?
saying.
It's-
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I feel
Yeah.
like Maddie's a one-way ticket type of
But
guy.
the one-way
Yeah,
ticket is
yeah,
the best, bro. It was
You've
just
got
like the
that
most
spirit. It
liberating
It does.
feeling,
He's got
bro.
that. You've got that. Like,
You're just hungry for it, bro.
it's funny now because I reckon now you're probably like thinking like, it's funny. Like perspective is interesting, right? Like right now you're like you're trying to work out what your next movies.
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
But one day you're gonna look back and go, bro, I had no next move planned out. Why
Yeah,
didn't I
yeah.
just?
Go,
You know what?
kick it
True,
and go.
true. And even if I don't ever like, which it's untrue that'll happen, but even if I don't travel as much as I once did, that's why I'm so happy that I just like was like,
You did
fuck
it,
it. When
yeah.
I was like 18, 19, 20, 21,
Yeah,
it was just like, go
scratch
overseas,
that
come
itch.
back, overseas, come
Well,
back,
you've done a
overseas,
lot
come back.
for
Yeah, it was a
your
fair
age,
bit.
bro.
The funniest thing was, bro, like, you're talking about funny stories. When I was in Vietnam, I was like dying for a haircut, yeah? So I went for like 3 weeks without a haircut in Vietnam. And then I ended up in like this country town in Vietnam in the rice fields with the rice farmers. And,
What does Maddie look like
that's
with long?
hectic.
What does Maddie look like with long hair?
bro,
No,
like,
bro,
it wasn't like
please,
proper long. It
bro.
was just like pubic hair on top of my head, like just like
Hold on, but does
frizzy
it
hair.
go? It goes thicker.
No, stays thin but goes long. So it's like you can still see my skull. but
Oh no!
it's frizzy ass. Hence why I keep it. That's why I keep it short. But bro, I ended up in this town. I was like, bro, I need a haircut. So I was like, went into this like dodgy little half makeshift barbershop. You open the ward, like ding 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 ding, like the bell rings. Then I walked in. I was like, hey brother, like haircut. He's like, yeah, haircut. I was like, what do I ask for a fade? Like, do I ask for like a skin fade? I was like, do you know how to like fade? He's like, yes, sit, please, sit. Bro, I promise to God, he took my hairline halfway back my fucking head, bro. I walked out of the barbershop. I paid him his money, bro. Gave him a tip too, and I was like, oh my God, what has happened?
What
bro?
have I done?
It was so bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad. Then I got to Ho Chi Minh, and I like after a week, hair started to grow back, and then I paid for like a proper haircut.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, it was ugly, man. Even like I remember in the Philippines, and were traveling on the Vespas, like the little bikes.
Yeah.
Traveled from one side of the island in Siargao, and Siargao is like the most beautiful island in the Philippines. Like there's a famous surf break there called it's not Cloud9. Cloud9's Fiji. It's Cloud Break. Beautiful, beautiful island in the Philippines, and like there's not much surfing in the Philippines except this one specific island called Siargao.
Yeah.
Got there, like the most picturesque, beautiful place I've ever seen, bro. Like coconut tree, like exactly what you imagine paradise to look like.
Yeah.
This place looked like coconut trees, beautiful, like pink sunsets, like sunset bars, almost like how Bali is, but before Bali became like a tourist trap.
place, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Before it became like the place to be.
Yeah.
We traveled from one side of the island to the other by like bike, and my bike stopped working halfway, so I jumped on the back of another guy's bike, and then this girl's like, "Oh, do you want to be able to like use my bike to get us back?"
Yeah.
And her bike had no mirrors, had like it was falling over, the engine kept dying, and I had no way back. So she's like, "Oh, you know, you can just take my bike back." So she jumped on, and I was just riding back with her. It was the worst experience ever, bro, because it was like an hour and a half ride from one side of the island to the other.
Yeah.
The sun starts to go down. It's pitch black.
Oh,
I'm riding shirtless, freezing cold from the water we were just swimming in, and it was a horrible experience because you're riding at night as well. It's freezing,
that's
but
scary.
also the mosquitoes are just like
Hitting you.
whacking you.
Oh,
Against, bro,
right.
I got off finally made it to the other side. God knows how, bro. And like I literally had bugs all over me. It was so gross. Yeah, it was disgusting.
How long
bro.
was it? How long was the trip?
About an hour and a half.
Bro,
yeah,
did
bro.
you have to close your mouth when you're on those?
Yeah, you do. 100% you do.
Oh, that's why I used to wear like a bandana when I was
When you go on the
when I
bike.
was riding at these
Yeah.
classes with a bandana.
And like the
Felt
whole
a
time, I'm
bikie.
just sitting in my head thinking like, oh my God, like what am I doing? And I've just got this like Colombian girl who doesn't speak a word of English on the back of me. I'm just like, oh my God, just get me home, bro.
Yeah.
Didn't concern him.
Bro, it was a horrible experience.
Hold me. Hold on tight. So Europe would be like that's the next one.
Europe, 100%.
Well, then you
definitely.
go to Africa as
I'm
well.
gonna go to Africa.
Africa.
What about you, Shawnee?
Africa.
Like I want to go to. I really liked America. Eh?
See, I reckon the States is cool, but I just feel like
America.
America.
Yeah.
Is it just like too similar to Australia? In
Nah,
a way?
bro, it's so different.
Is it?
Yeah.
So different.
Yeah.
No,
Check
no,
this.
so
like
different.
I remember when we got there, we got to New York, and then getting on the train, getting out in the city. Like Madison Square Garden, there was Hooters, there was Times Square, bro. I was just like, fuck.
The energy
Yeah,
is just
100%.
I was like,
different,
bro,
eh?
it's heck. It wasn't at night time too. It was during the day, but I was just up and just looking around. I was just like, fuck.
Bro, it's
this is
exactly
hectic.
like the
Everyone
movies.
talks about
it's
New York
exactly
like
like
that.
the movies.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you get out and you're just like, you know how they have that
Yeah,
shot
yeah.
where the person's like that? It's
Yeah,
like that.
100%. Yeah, and then obviously nighttime. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you this fucking story anyway. Like, so we got there that day, got to our hotel, we were in New York City on 6th Street. And then we went to dinner, and then we went to Times Square. You know, go have a look, suss it out. So I got back to the room, went to go pull my wallet out. So I dropped my wallet.
Yeah.
Right on the way back from Times Square. So I've already lost my wallet. That was the first fucking day that we were in America.
Okay.
So fucking sitting there, we go back, go for a walk, retrace my steps. Looking around the street, it's fucking packed. It was Times Square. It was
Yeah, bro,
fucking
give up.
middle of summer. Anyway, give up. So we go back to the room, and somebody ended up messaging me on Facebook
What?
saying, "Hey, I think I found your wallet."
Oh,
No way.
that's good.
Started messaging. I was like, "Fuck, who's this random person?" Started messaging. Took a photo of the wallet, and goes, "Oh, like, where are you? We're on this street. I'm on 6th Street. Come and meet us." Ended up meeting this person and fucking got my wallet back.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, so
In the middle of New York City.
in the middle of New York
That's
City.
hectic.
That's cool.
So what they said was I think they're from Texas or something. So they got off out of a cab, and then the guy or the girl stood on my wallet
Ah.
and then picked it up and then saw my ID and then
How
messaged
kind.
me through Facebook and then
That restores faith in humanity a
Oh,
little
bro!
bit.
And it was like again the first day I was there. Like,
Wake
the
up to
first-
yourself,
Hey, man.
mate. What
Bro,
are you doing?
and I was with my ex, and she was just
Sir, I
like,
have your wallet.
yeah, she was just like, oh, of course you lost your fucking wallet the first
Sir?
day.
Sir, I found your
No,
wallet.
it's gonna be Southern. Sir, I found your wallet.
Yeah. God damn, I found your wallet.
Where y'all from, anyway?
I'd love to go to fucking Texas actually.
Huh.
Yeah,
that'd be
sick,
hectic.
bro.
You're from Australia,
Tell
man.
us.
I heard a lot about that place. Y'all damn goddamn alligators in the back of your closet. You got them damn
Y'all ride kangaroos to school?
Bro, they actually are they dumb as shit?
Nah,
or what?
I think they're dumb.
'Cause
That's-
bro,
that's bullshit, I
But
reckon.
I don't know, bro. My brother went to America and like he was just convinced like many. They're like, man, you do you really ride your kangaroo to school? My brother's like, yeah,
Bro,
man.
before I fucking came to Australia, I thought there were kangaroos fucking everywhere in Australia.
Yeah.
And
There
I
are.
came to the city and I was like, bro, where are the kangaroos?
And same with like spiders and stuff. I feel like everyone
Yeah.
thinks there's spiders and sharks everywhere in the world.
Because
there
all they
are.
see is programs of fucking sharks.
Yeah, but also
and
when they see
Crocodile
a
Dundee
news
and-
article about Australia, it's like someone's got bitten by a shark.
Yeah.
Australia, they're like, oh. Meanwhile, in Australia, you always see those memes on the net. Meanwhile, in Australia, someone's getting bitten by a shark or something.
Yeah.
That makes
Australians
headlines.
are made fun of, but for their accent as well, like hard. Like we do have like a bit of a silly
Bro,
accent.
people love the Australian accent.
Do they?
In America, they fucking love
Yeah.
it.
Do
bro.
they?
They love it.
Yeah.
I've seen this guy who made a funny Instagram reel like the last couple of weeks. He's like, he makes fun of like the Aussie accent, and it's like the most ridiculous. I don't know. if
Bro,
I'm
I
not
swear, no
explaining
matter
this
where
well.
I've been in the world, people love the Australian accent. No matter where I've been. Except for Bali. Because
Yeah.
everyone's Aussie.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, the Balinese hate Australians by now. They're just like, fuck off back to your country. But they
No,
don't
bro,
really.
no,
they
no,
love
they
us because they
don't.
give
They-
us money.
No, bro, you know what? That was the one thing that I found was a very stark difference between Bali and Thailand. Is that when you go to Thailand, the Thai just like, they just see you as dollar signs. They want your fucking money. They don't give a shit about you. Whereas the Balinese, they really appreciate and love the
Yeah,
tourism.
yeah.
Like they
yeah.
look at you and they go, wow, these people are actually enabling us to earn a living.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
not that they owe
Totally.
you something, but they are happy
They
to
wanna
serve
go above
you.
and beyond,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Because they want you to come back. They want you to. It's just such a difference in
It
like
is.
their
Yeah,
demeanor, and
demeanor,
their
yeah.
everything about it. It's actually really. So yeah, man. Like I had a good time in Thailand, but I much prefer
Yeah.
Bali
Well,
because of the people.
other than Bali, what's your next big destination? What you and Kristen are going to do before you, go down that path of having kids?
Jeez, you know what? Oh, we want to.
Children.
I want to do.
You
children.
idiot.
Children.
You idiot.
I love kids, bro.
Yeah.
So do I.
Always have. Ever since, you know what? I
Do you want
grew
to
up-
homeschool your kids?
Wait, just make sure, just don't give them the iPad. Okay?
iPad, yeah.
Man, you know, I feel like theoretically I'll have a very, very hard stance on the screen thing, but we'll see. I still stand very firm on it, and I hope to God that like I have the
Yeah.
strength to
You don't
do
know
that.
until you know.
I don't know until it's in
You
front of
don't
me,
know
but I'm
until
telling you,
you
I'm gonna try my best to be fucked up hardline about that. But we'll see, especially if their little fucking cousins are sitting around there with screens and shit. I have to
Yeah.
boot them to the.
Literally.
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't know, man. Like we're really keen to do. Man, that's the thing about Europe. We had such an amazing time, 5 weeks on a honeymoon last year, but we'd love to do more of Europe. Like we want to do Portugal and Spain, like a road trip. One thing that we learned
nice.
from our Europe trip last year. That is, and I've said this to you guys before, and people do not realize how underrated it is. And I think it's they think it for different reasons, but road tripping is just it's a different ball game, man.
Yeah.
It's so much nicer. There's no stress. Like I told you last time, over our honeymoon, we took 3 flights over the entire 5 weeks.
Yeah,
so
nice.
nice.
Like for example, and again, I know it's completely different, but you know, Jesse and Shauna, I just saw in their thing yesterday, like one missed flight. They missed the
Yeah.
flight already, right? And I
Yeah.
don't know why. It could be just the lines were ridiculously long.
Yeah.
The plane got cancelled. Bro, when you're driving, you wake up, you don't have to even think about,
Yeah.
bro, if you want to leave your bag unpacked, leave. And the only thing you have to worry about is making sure that you don't literally like just get tired and fall
Yeah,
asleep on the
yeah.
road.
Yeah, that's right,
Your
yeah.
hotel's waiting for you.
Yeah.
There's no deadlines. There's no timelines. You leave whenever you want. You arrive whenever you want. The hotels and
Is
the
that
accommodation.
Europe?
Yeah. The accommodation's always waiting for you. So that's what we learned. So from now on, we made like a level of commitment that wherever we go, if we're going to do a trip that's long by any means,
Yeah.
like more
Just
than
road
2
trip
weeks,
it.
we road trip it. So that's why, like, if we're going to do Europe again, we'll do Portugal and Spain because they're right next to each other. We'll road trip through there.
And I
We'll-
suppose like it's like an hour drive and you're in another country, whereas our drive, like I'm driving from here to get home is going to take me an hour.
the longest drive we did in our Europe trip, so we clocked up about 3,000 Ks all up.
Wow.
It's a lot of Ks,
Yeah.
right? So, or maybe a bit more than that. The longest drive that we did was from Spain into France,
Wow.
where even though they border each other, so we went
Yeah.
from San Sebastian, which is fucking phenomenal, the food capital, or what's known as the food capital of the world, because they have these dishes called, bro, you would love San Sebastian. They have these dishes called pinchos, which are like, I guess the equivalent of like tapas, very small dishes that are like €3 or something, and it's just every little place you go to is like known for their food. I don't know why, but like every single place you go to, like you hop from place to place like 10 meters away, and like each place has like 1,000 reviews on Google, and you go pay €3, get a beer, €3, get a beer, go to the next one, and this one will have like and they're all always on like toothpicks or on like
Little appetite, little hors d'oeuvres.
yeah, exactly right. And anyway, so we were there, and we spent 4 nights there, and then we drove into France, and that was from where we were, it was about 7 hours to Aix-en-Provence, which is where we were going to next. But even then, We drove 3 and a bit hours. We stopped in Toulouse in France. Like again, just places we weren't planning to
Yeah,
stop.
yeah.
And we went and had a nice
You would
meal.
miss it if you,
Yeah, see
if
that's
you flew,
the
you'd
thing
miss
I
it.
feel like with the you can just stop and have those little
Like, what's this play? Let's just
Exactly.
drive
Like
in here.
literally, like
Yeah.
you know, at one point on a different journey, it was only a couple of hour trip, but I was getting tired, and Kristen's like, "All right." So she looked on the map. We found this place called Alassio in Italy when we were driving through Italy. And we're like, oh, fuck it, we'll stop here. It looks like a reasonable sized town. It's on the coast. We got there, bro, 100% Italians. It was an Italian
That's so
tourist,
sick. Wow.
Italian tourist beach destination. A bed was €5. And for those who don't know, the day beds in Europe are literally like, you cannot get one for less than like 40 or 50 euros. So like
yeah.
it's €5 for a day bed. There were all these Italians who met this guy who like owned a shop on the strip, and he'd come with his family, and like
Wow.
they'd be taking turns between who's relaxing on the beach and who's working in the shop.
That's
Because
so
they
good.
own like a little fashion store.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, it was just sick. Like we would never have planned to go there, and no one's like, not that it's about going where no one's been, but it's just cool to have gone somewhere where
Yeah.
no one knows about. It's
Off
just
the
like a
beaten
random.
track.
These type
Yeah.
of stories like reignite that fire in me to be like, why
Yeah.
do I want to go work at all? Do you know what I mean? Like, I swear, man. Like, I'm so torn between like wanting to go like work full time and then just like,
Yeah.
but,
Travel.
but it's finding that balance. Like, how do you make this a reality? Do you know what I mean? How,
okay,
how is this made a reality? How do people like you see these travel bloggers and these Instagram entrepreneurs and whatever the fuck it is, and like in reality, I don't have the skill set yet to be able to like, I feel like create an online business right now, and I've gone down that road. I just know that I want to work a little bit more,
Yeah.
but you know,
Establish
the
yourself a
the
bit
one
more.
thing that will
Yeah.
give, the one thing I feel like will give you. This is for me anyway. Like, look, and I've I certainly could have done more travel in my time, but like I've done a lot. I've been very fortunate that I was able to travel with my family and stuff too. But you know, I've done a lot of travel. Like I've been to,
yeah,
I don't know. I think I've been to every. No, I haven't been to South America.
I've been to every country.
I haven't been to every continent, I was going to say. But like the one thing that I feel like gives people the comfort and the confidence is when you do, you know, if you're going to work and stuff for a bit, put that money into something so that when you go, you feel like it's doing something in the background for you,
Yeah.
whether it be a property, whether it be in stock, whatever. Like
Yeah.
it's not 100% necessary, but like that was the one thing that I always found when I was traveling that was good. I was like, okay, even though I'm away, my
Right,
money
right.
is the money
Money's
that I
working
have
for you.
earned is working for me.
you, yeah.
It's not 100% essential, but it's always one of those things that is nice to know in the back of
Yeah.
your head.
Yeah, correct.
But it's almost like giving us, because you're still young. Like, what are you, 24?
24.
23, 24?
I know. Sometimes
That's what I mean. If you're going to go work for
Yeah,
however
work for a
long,
couple years
work,
and then-
Yeah,
put the
that's
money
it.
away and
Yeah.
then reward yourself.
that's why I
Yeah,
do give
go.
myself a kick up the ass sometimes. I'm like, bro, just chill. You're 24, so it's like, and I
Yeah.
just
and you
turned
hang
24.
out with a lot of older people too.
Correct. So there's always
harder
it's always
for
like
you.
that the grass is green. And you're like, oh, maybe I should go do that, or maybe that constant comparison. But definitely, yeah, this is like G'd me up. And I'll see everyone in Europe this year, and I'm just like,
Yeah. Give yourself a bit of a footprint and then go from
100%.
there.
Yeah, definitely.
But bro,
definitely.
yeah, the road trip thing, like, so
Yeah, that's mad.
It's good.
That's sick.
The only one thing to consider, and it's like literally a cost thing, but obviously when we were doing the road trip, we don't want to come and do a round trip and drop the car off back where we picked it up.
Yeah, of
we've already
course.
gone there. So the one way drop off cost like $1,000
Extra.
or extra on top, but bro,
Yeah.
it's worth it.
So do they.
Drop it off
Yeah.
in another country, bro. It's the best feeling
Cars,
ever.
that
Yeah,
is
we
so
did that.
awesome.
Yeah,
We did that
yeah.
in America, and I was like, wasn't as much as what you did, but we did Las Vegas to San Fran,
Yeah.
and it's like a 9-hour drive.
And that's
but
the
it was
thing.
hectic.
In America, it'd be
So
way
good.
cheaper because
Yeah,
like
it
it's
was,
the
yeah.
same country.
We got a
There's probably
convertible, we
branches
got a-
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was mad. Like you say, you just take your time, you stop when you want to. But yeah, like if you go from one place to another, like Spain to France, you miss all those places
Yeah.
that you wouldn't have been before. So that's hectic.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Ah, bro.
Oh, we're going a bit longer.
Oh,
than we
fuck.
thought.
Yeah, we're going a bit longer.
Well, yeah, well, I'd like to hear some travel stories, please, guys. If you're watching this
yeah.
episode and you got any funny travel stories, any other good? That story about the lion was like honestly
bro,
so
that's
good, bro.
hectic.
Like, that was like
Oh,
the funniest thing ever.
Oh, yeah.
How have you not told us that before? Fuck.
I don't know, bro. It just
That's
came to
mad.
mind. It's probably one of those few like near. I honestly consider it in terms of how I felt at the time a
Yeah.
near death experience.
You know, I had a near death ish experience, to be honest. So like, I've never been snowboarding in my life. And I'd never seen snow. The first time I ever seen snow was the one time that I'd seen snow in my life, which was in Japan in Hakuba. And like I said, we're staying with all the Aussies on the mountain, and they were like, "Oh yeah, how like, you know, you fucking hit the slopes, bro. Like, how was it, dude? Like, you know, shredding the powder and like just like typical like, you know how like surfers are, but like snowboarders.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
so
yeah,
douchey, but like super cool. Like they live for this shit. Anyway, I had done like lessons for like 2 days to like learn how to like stand up on this fucking snowboard, because I was like, you gotta go heel toe, and then like just being able to balance in it. Like, it was so foreign to me. Like skateboarding, I can actually stand on a skateboard and roll around. Even surfing, like I had mentioned before, like I don't feel like so out of place. But snowboarding was just like the fact that you can't move your feet, that it's locked in, that you're one with the board, like tripped me out. Anyway, I got the hang of it after like 2 days, and where we were staying in the hostel, you literally walk out of the hostel and you are literally at the bottom of the run. So you can just jump on the gondola and go straight to the top.
up,
How good.
And then a lot of them were like, oh yeah, like Matty, have you found it the last couple of days? I was like, good bro. He's like, oh, why don't you do the black run? The black run's like, you go to the top of the mountain. And I was like, oh bro, like I'm not like that good yet. He's like, that's how you learn. I was like, all right.
Jump in the deep
So I
end.
put my earphones in and I'm listening to music, and I was like, all right, this is what we're going to do. And we jumped into the gondola, and so you go up and then it stops at the first stop and people get out. And then it goes up again, and then it stops at the second stop. And it kept going, and then it finally got to the top stop, and I had like not bitched it. Like I stayed on there, and I got finally to the top. But I was praying the whole time, because I was like, bro, this thing is just not stopping. We're going up into the clouds at this point in Hakuba. And I was like, this is like way out of my comfort zone. Finally got to the top, jumped out, and to be honest, bro, like it was the most alive I've ever felt.
Yeah.
To be honest,
close
it was
to death.
because I was so close to death.
You're so
I
close
know,
to
right?
heaven.
Like with the juxtaposition
You're
of
so
that.
close to God.
But I had
God was actually waiting like 50 meters. It's like, come to me, my son.
I had Red Hot Chili Peppers
Oh.
Snow.
Nice.
I had that
That's
blasting
sexy.
in my earphones. It was like, I can't remember the song Snow. You know how Snow goes?
There you go. Is that the one? No.
No,
different
it's
one.
anyway.
Remind me.
Whenever I hear this song, bro, like it just like G's me up, and like it was building, because it's like an 8-minute song, and it was like building. I finally got to the top. I was like, let's hit this shit, bro. And I remember like jumping down the slope, and I just went dush, and I just rolled down the hill, bro. Stopped. I was like, okay. I got back up, because it kind of like goes really steep, and then it flattens out a little bit, and then there's another really steep drop, and then flattens out a bit. But it was the best way to learn, because it took me like an hour and a half to get to the very bottom.
Was it a groomed run?
No, it wasn't.
Wow.
It wasn't. There were parts of it that were groomed, but a lot of it was like still quite like dense.
Was it?
Because you would have been like solo.
Bro, it
most of
was-
the
Yeah,
time.
was there a lot of people?
Yeah, there was a
it
lot of
few
people. There was a lot of people. There were a lot of
okay.
people,
What's
but
good? Like-
but at the very, very top, bro, like people were laughing at me, like, what the fuck's this guy doing? Like, bro, you know,
An hour and a half,
bro.
bro.
It took me an hour and a half to get to
Fuck,
the
what
bottom,
a
but it was
reckoning.
bro, like I cried. Like that's how like
Yeah,
alive I felt, because
yeah.
bro, I'm just like literally on this gondola, like looking around, like how beautiful this place was, bro. Like exactly, it's almost like the backgrounds on like your MacBook when you look around and there's like those. It was just gorgeous, bro. Like I've never seen so much like beauty like that. And I had my earphones in. I was like, bro, this is what it feels like to like live,
Be alive,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
To be alive.
That's why these blokes that like surf and snowboard, they live for it.
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, bro, it's
100%.
adrenaline rush, bro. Even I told you the story about this. So I was surfing in Siargao, that same island in the Philippines, and like I surfed here when I was like in year 7 and 8 and 9. I used to like love that whole scene, and like I don't know, I was just like really like, you know how you used to hang out with the skater boys.
yeah.
But I genuinely like loved surfing. Even now, like I love surfing. It's like the most awesome feeling, just being out on the water, chilling, cruising. Anyway, we went to the Philippines, and I've always surfed beach breaks, but I've never like been taken out to a reef.
I know it. Yeah.
Taken out to a reef. Where
So a
there's
reef is
That's
it breaks
different.
in the ocean.
breaks in the
Yeah.
ocean, just off like literally off a reef, like off like a little coral
that's
reef or
hectic.
whatever it is. And I paid the guy, and he's like, okay, let's go out. So he put me in his boat, and I have my little surfboard, and we're fucking taken out to this big break. And it's exactly like you see it in the movies, or like when there's like a surf comp and there's like all the boats on the outside where the break is,
Yeah,
and then you jump out and paddle out into the break. And he's like, all right, go. And I was like, okay. And I was like, all right. So I jumped out, and I'm like, all right, Matty, like you got this. I'm paddling out. And I made it into the break, and everyone's chilling there. But it was like very, very, very big, like 12 to 13 feet. Like it was like very tall, bro. Like from here to the roof, like at least, bro. And I felt like I was in way over my head. Like there was proper like guys out there that knew what they were doing, and like I was like, what the fuck?
Also the etiquette as well. Like you don't know like when do you.
Yeah, like when you drop in, the inside has priority. I mean, outside has priority. So inside has priority, so you can't just like drop in on him and like fuck him up. But yeah, I was like, okay, I finally built up enough courage to paddle in for this wave. And the board I was using was a rental. So like you're meant to have like a board that's like quite buoyant and like a lot of volumes because I'm a bigger guy. Like I'm not like a 60, 70 kilo fucking surfer. But I had this super small board and the leg rope was like not like sticking together. Anyway, paddled in for this wave. Came in and then it literally just swallowed me up and I got thrown into the reef. I was held down under there for about a minute. All my neck, my knees and my elbow were cut up from the reef because it was really shallow and I got held under there. I swear that was the closest I felt like I was to dying, and I was held under there and I was like. And I just had to hold my breath and stay calm. And the whole time under there, I was like, just stay calm, stay calm, stay calm, stay calm. Waves kept coming and I was like, oh my God, like I'm about to lose my breath here. Anyway, I finally came up and I was like, took in a big breath, bro. And I was like, get me the fuck out of here. I lost my board. The board came up from like underneath me. It got swept away. I didn't have a board. So I was like just paddling out of the break, like 100 meters away to get to the boat. And I finally got into the boat and I just collapsed in the boat. It was like a proper near-death experience. Scariest moment of my whole life.
Wow, yeah.
I didn't have the board, and then like a minute later, I just see like this like Filipino guy, and he's got my GoPro because my GoPro was attached to the surfboard.
No way,
and
that's hectic.
With my board and then his board, and he like paddled over and like gave me my board. He's like started laughing, and I look back at the GoPro footage. It's like this like Filipino guy just like laughing, like giving me like this kook back his fucking surfboard.
Fuck,
yeah, bro.
Genius.
So is kook, is that the general term?
I thought just like a.
I follow this page called Kook Slams on
yeah,
Instagram,
kook slams
and bro,
is fucking hilarious.
and it's just like surfers KOing. It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
literally.
So is that the name for like?
Yeah, what does that mean?
It's like a spastic that can't surf.
Oh,
Yeah, that's actually,
right.
but it's
Yeah,
actually a
kook.
surf-oriented
term.
term.
Yeah,
Kook.
Yeah, kook.
Kook.
Oh, fuck, didn't know that.
Very funny
Oh,
page.
man,
Kook
it was-
Slams.
yeah,
Big
literally.
fan. Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
But
fuck.
yeah,
Um,
that's us.
It's us.
I think
Let's-
that's
let's
us.
maybe
for the,
wrap it up there.
for the travel app.
We'll travel, yeah. Could
Thanks
probably
for tuning in to
probably keep
episode
going
9.
on, but yeah.
We'll catch you guys next week for episode 10.
Episode 10.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
going to be
double
what we're
digits.
Gonna, what are we going to do next week? Chat about the.
Oh, well, it's just a bit of a reflection
reflection on the
apps.
last
Yeah.
10 episodes. How
Yeah.
we feel we've gone and what we've learned.
Yeah, definitely. And thanks for bearing with us if you made it to this point. Definitely been a lot of learning and a lot of just
Yeah.
trial and error. And I think just getting behind the mic and on the air has just like helped us, like, I think, grow a little bit in confidence, I would
Yeah.
say. So
I mean, I think over the last 2 episodes we've been pretty, like even just now, we was going to do a half an hour, but we've gone 50
Yeah,
minutes.
50
So-
minutes. So.
And the off the cuff last week as well was pretty, yeah. So being able to talk on the mic's going pretty well, but
Yeah.
we've got to sort some stuff out when JP gets back.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
And leave your feedback, please. Anything
Yeah.
you want to hear, style, the way that, and I think sometimes things we can get better at is just like not talking over each other.
I think we did well on that today.
Yeah.
I think I was conscious of that in like 1 or 2 episodes I listened to that I was doing. But having listened back to it was good.
Yeah,
because you know what it made me realize is that the one person talking for a long time is actually, it's soothing.
I
It's
think
not.
so.
It's not. I think when you were sitting here like this, it's
Blah,
like,
blah.
we should do a bit more interacting, but it's not necessarily necessary.
When it's necessary, we'll
Yeah.
do it, and yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Episode
all right,
9.
Episode 9.
Thanks,
The Dropouts. Let's
academics.
go.
Let's go.
Is that wow?
There we go.
Let's go.
Still.